Yeah, speaking of art, my wife made me this shake. Somehow, some way, they get all the nice leafy greens I'm supposed to be eating and make them brown and turn them into a shake. Well, you know what? If the Sistine Chapel can be done, I guess this can be done as well. Thank you guys very much for getting onto this video. Hopefully you're on onlinemarketingmentors.com and you're checking this out, reading a little bit of the content that I've written about this around this video. You know, is there an art, I guess, to creating content? You know, there is in a way. As a matter of fact, if we start looking at things like the Google Panda algorithm and the way that it looks at your content and ranks your content, how the spiders crawl it, how the bots crawl it, and how it goes about doing its thing. You have to understand today too that Google actually has people looking at your sites. They look at your content. And when they start looking at your sites as a whole, there's something to be said about web design. And I think web design is a little bit of, I think it has to do a little bit with the overall aspect of your website. I think it's important. But at the same time, the most important thing about your website is going to be that content. It really, really is. It's going to be the look and the feel of it as well. So you have to remember, I was reading a book the other day, and I think it's a really good book, and I think you guys ought to check it out. It's called Content is Currency, and really, really, really good book. But he starts talking about web design and stuff like this, and he starts talking about how people read content. Now, I do disagree with the gentleman on this. You know, while he says that a lot of people end up reading, you know, a whole piece of content, excuse me, the facts are that about 80% of people do not read the content. They don't. They actually just scan it. They scan content. That's what they do. This is why when you're sitting there and you're talking about the art form of online marketing and content, what we want to do is we want to have some bullet points. We want to have things that are bolded. We want to have some of that anchor text in there that really stands out on the page. These are the types of things that catches our eyeballs. And if you can put it in such a manner that's just simply nice, it doesn't have to be everywhere, just in a few places here and there, and that's about it. That's a wonderful thing as far as anchor texting is concerned. Anchor texting, guys, is really just making a good hyperlink to another piece of content into your sales funnel, whatever it is. But the thing is that it's there. It's good SEO, and it looks good, and it makes sense. And you can actually make it look good. But you got to remember that people are just scanning stuff, and we have our little title tags inside of our content. We break down this piece of content that we're writing to certain sections so that people, when they're scanning, can pick out, well, I want to read this part right here. Okay, great. You know, they're not going to read all of it. They're going to look through the finer bullet points. They're going to scan over the information. But they will stop to take a look at some of the things that they really, really, really want to know. This is why they're there. They're there for an answer. That's it. So when we start thinking about it, you know, our words, we can actually fix our words up to where they look nice. It's actually kind of an art form. It's just like writing a little story or a book or a report. It looks really nice. It's set up just like in school we did. You know, we had to write those book reports. They had to be formatted, you know, to something that the teacher wanted, whatever it was. But yeah, I'm going a little bit far on that. Sorry about that. But let's talk about other things on a website that actually are really pleasing to the eye, something that's artistic. You know, first off, some of the things that I think you should have on there are images. These images, you know, don't have to be images of like, you know, click here, you know, wow, my 7-day free trial. Although you guys can get a 7-day trial down at the bottom here. Go, seriously. The thing is that you don't have to do that. I mean, on the piece of content on Online Marketing Mentors, if you haven't been there yet, go there, check out this piece of content. What I did is I actually put an image down towards the bottom that was slightly big, and it really was. It was just one of those little, I'm not an artist, guys, I can barely draw stick figures, but, you know, it has one of those little painting platter things, dishes. And the thing is, though, but it makes sense to the actual content around it. So it's kind of pleasing to the eyes, and people, you know, they really like to see that. Not to mention, what did I do? Yeah, that's right, I made it clickable. Another thing is video. Guys, you have to understand that video, as you know, as a piece on your content is very, very important. First off, from an SEO perspective. keeps people on your site longer. Why? Because they can watch the video. They don't have to read all the content. If it's well placed, it looks nice in that content. If it's well placed, there's also little tiny pieces of little software and apps that you can get into your WordPress or Joomla that makes that video pop out really nice and look nice. But for the biggest factor here is that it looks nice and it gives them the information they want in that piece of content. So remember that, guys, images and videos. What about your sidebars? Now, although the sidebars are not really considered the content, it can lead people to other pieces of content within your website. And your sidebar should actually, you don't have to have a whole bunch of stuff on it. But the thing is that it should be filled up with some good relevant stuff. First off, your call to action where people should subscribe to you. But it doesn't have to be plain, simple, ugly. You can put an image on there. It says, learn more here. Do your thing. I actually do some things that are pretty funny with mine, like, don't click here. Or else I'm going to have to give you the free videos. You can hear my kids screaming, it's so funny. The thing is that you can sit there and do these little tiny things that not only captures the eye, that's not only pretty or just really cool looking. They're the little tiny things that you can do to sit there and spruce up your content. Make your content with a little flair. That's a wonderful thing. You don't have to get any over excess with it or anything or overexcited with it. But the thing is that just make sure it's nice, make sure it's clean, make sure there's a good image in there, make sure there's a video in there, make sure that those hyperlinks and those anchor texts are placed well. And the words that you're anchor texting to make sense on the other side, wherever they're going. Okay? Need to do that. On the sidebars, calls to action. There's nothing better than, what I like about the Facebook Lightbox? It isn't the fact of the streaming information that's in there. It's the faces. It's the faces of people. Let you know that, if somebody's visiting your site and they see this nice little uniformed box over there with little streaming information and faces of individuals who like your stuff. When I'm on your site and I see that, I say, well, goodness, this person has really got it going on. Look at all these people that like this stuff. What is it about it? I'm going to take a look. And it's nice and it's simple. And it's artistic in a way. It's nice. There is kind of an art form, I guess. It's not just art for websites and blogs. It's not just for web designers. It's for the SEO and you. It's for the content. We want it to be appealing to people visually. Because not everybody, as I told you, is going to read your content. But they'll scan it. They'll look through it. They'll see a nice video on there. They'll see some good images on there. And those images are clickable. And the thing is, it can take people places. So don't forget to sit there and add a little bit of flair. Add a little bit about who you are. When people come into my house, the first thing that they see is really basically the giant living room. And so I want my furniture to be nice looking. I want the artwork on my wall to look nice. When people visit onlinemarketingmentors.com, davidboozer.com, jamesmcorey.com, we want these things to look nice. We want it to be appealing. Not just for you, because we're actually kind of picky about ourselves. Well, we want people when they come into our house online, and remember, this is your home online. This is your home online, and you're bringing in visitors. That house needs to be clean. It should be orderly. Bathrooms should be able to be found. That means other content. And the thing is that it should look nice. Yeah, it should. It should. Not just out of respect for yourself, but respect for others. People, you're not going to read all my content. It's just a fact. But I'll give you a video that just goes over it real quick so that you don't have to. I'm going to place it nice and easy for you to find it and watch it. And also, I'm going to give you some images. Images that are just fun to look at. Something that's fun or funny or enlightening. Period. So there is kind of an art form, I guess, to creating content. Now, I never thought about it before, but there really, really is. This whole time that I've been creating content, just about every single day, I've always noticed that I've done certain things a certain way, and I thought just because of a SEO perspective or a marketing perspective, I never thought about it in the way that it's because I like the way it looks, and it's because other people tell me they like the way it looks. It just feels nice to them, which tells me that there's a little bit of art behind it. So anyways, thank you guys very much for being on this video. No matter what, God bless.